I don't know what you think, but I've listened to a lot of different, people and or group stories. And I think one of the things that strikes me is that it is unique. It is built around people. It's built around interests. It's built around places. So as opposed to the treatment, i.e. where you might prescribe what a methadone clinic looks like, and you can operate a methadone clinic in, 750 cities in the country or something, actually recovery communities are a little bit more unique, and you can't just buy it to replicate it. It's going to be fostered around small numbers of people, interests, passion. So I think that's one of the, I don't know if this makes any sense to you, but I've always thought one of the complexities is you can't replicate it in the same way. You might have a guy, JP, who's interested in doing Stafford, but you're not going to be able to suddenly have, 365 eternal medias around the country without the right group of people and passion.
Yeah.
But you can have recovery communities, but they may all be very different. One may end up, I've said this before, one might end up being an ice hockey community, and one might be a film community, and one might be a food community, and one might be a mountain community. But that's kind of okay, really. But it's much harder for the others to, for the system to get its head around it, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, going back to Simon Shaw. Right?
Yeah.
I was saying that he came at it from a really humanitarian point of view, but he was also within the police. He had a business head. He realised that he was spending tens of millions of pounds every year on addiction-related crime.
Yeah.
So he very quickly, saw that, well, recovery doesn't cost anything. Recovery doesn't cost anybody anything. Treatment costs. But after that, recovery is free. It doesn't cost the state anything anymore. It doesn't cost, people aren't involved with the police or prisons or counsellors or, when you got true recovery and you're just on your own and you're doing it and you've got your support network and maybe you do some counselling. But it doesn't cost the taxpayer a penny. And in our case, this addict got clean. We pumped 100 grand into North Wales last year.
Yeah.
So it's far from.
It's a double saving. You were probably costing them 100 grand every year while you were bang at it as well, Marcus.
I'm glad you asked. Do you see my Smack app? Right. So this little app, I hope you can see it in a second. This app, I've set it up, configured it. Yeah. So based on my average habits over 25 years, which was £300 a day of heroin and crack per day. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but around £300 a day. So nearly I've not injected 3,002. Oh no, yeah, I'm clean for 3,289 days. I've not scored 98,660 bags of smack and crack, and that has saved a lot of people a lot of money to the tune of £986,600 over the 9 years. That's just what my habit cost. That's not what, all the crime and prison stay.
Yeah, exactly. It's brilliant.
So having some.
Yeah, it's too topsy-turvy. You're right. It's madness. Yeah, it's bonkers. Yeah.
If you think
so maybe you're right. Maybe what we just need them to do is we need to go in there and just win some better economic arguments. There was one floating around once, and it's kind of got lost over time. They did a thing called the National Treatment Outcome Studies, and that was where the big headline, you might have remembered at the time, for every £5 you spend on, every £1 you spend on treatment, it saves the system £5 elsewhere. And I think maybe people just need to revisit that and say every £1 we spend on recovery saves us, but